Hey everyone, hey teachers, middle school teachers, it's Mike from EduCircles. Today we're looking at how to help our students be more creative. And we're talking about transferable skills. And this is a new format for me, so let's see what happens. I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm going to walk us through a 2-minute exercise, and then I'm going to explain the real world context in terms of how this creativity gets applied and how it extends beyond the classroom. And then I'm going to give you a free classroom activity to do this more in depth. So we're talking about transferable skills, and specifically, we're looking at innovation, creativity, and entrepreneurship. And sometimes as teachers, we're like, whoa, I've got to teach creativity. And we're worried that, like, can you even teach creativity? Yes, you can. It's a growth mindset. There's specific skills that we can do to become more creative or more open to creativity. So we're going to try something right now. We're going to do a 2-minute exercise. And the question to think about right now is write down on a piece of paper everything you can do with a brick. Go. All right. Now, that wouldn't make good television or good YouTube or video or whatever. But typically, what happens is we think about, like a regular brick, right? Like the kind that you build houses with. Um, and this is really a question about opening up the possibilities of what it could be. It doesn't have to be literally a brick. It could be a brick in a goldfish tank, so a fish could swim around it. It could be a gold brick. It could be a brick for decoration. That's the tiny little bricks that are painted. It could be a brick that is used to build a house. It could be a brick like bricking a window. And so the idea is that sometimes we are stuck in thinking in certain ways, and giving ourselves permission to think about other possibilities is the way that we become more innovative, creative entrepreneurship. Okay, I did not come up with the brick exercise. The brick exercise is from Alex Hormozi. Alex Hormozi is a guy with $100 million estimated net worth, and he basically helps entrepreneurs like me and like you. Some of you have side hustles. He helps us grow our businesses to $100 million. Or to $1 million rather. And the reason why he gives out all this information about innovation and creativity and how to grow and communicate and sell your business idea for free is because if we apply these ideas, so this idea about learning beyond the classroom, right? We don't have to learn just when we're at school. In fact, learning is an ongoing thing. But if we are able to apply his ideas, that like his tried and true practices, business practices, to get to $1 million, then by the time we get to $1 million, he focuses on taking companies from the $1 to $3 million range to the $30 million range. And that's a different skill set, apparently. And his thinking is basically he's going to give away all the information for free, because if you can get your business to $1 million, then you've proven to him that you can actually apply the strategies and the ideas and the effort and get there. And he's proven to you that you can trust him. And this is the idea that his stuff actually works. And so then we are more likely, if we use his advice to get to $1 million, to get our businesses there, then we're more likely to trust him to take us to $30 million for equity share of our business. Why am I talking about this? Because, well, this idea, and this is Alex Hormozi talking about it in his book, but he's talking about how math problems are conversion, right? And this is the idea where you can have a lot of different variables, but really there's only one correct answer. And his point is, at school, this is how we are taught because it's easy to grade. Because the reality is there's a lot for teachers to do, not a lot of time to do it, and we've got to get marks. This is sometimes the easiest way to grade. His point in this book, $100 million Offer, is that if you are able to be creative, if you are able to have divergent thinking, which means that there are multiple variables, and some of these things you know about, some of these things you don't know about, things are constantly changing, and there are multiple correct answers. So if we are able to think in this way creatively at school, beyond school, then his point is actually that's how you create businesses and enterprises and innovate and create solutions that go beyond the other people. And that's how you hit that $1 million mark or $100 million mark. That's how you differentiate yourself from the crowd. So he goes on in his book, he talks about Grand Slam offers. I think this is an important idea. If we bring it back to the classroom, I guess the question is for us as teachers, as middle school teachers, as teachers beyond that, within that, how do we get our students, how do we bring it in to get them to come up with divergent answers? Or another way to put this is, how do we give them permission to come up with divergent answers where those answers are accepted, where we're able to recognize that, where it's not all about the marks, or we're able to get marks from divergent answers? And I don't know the answer to that question. I'd love to hear what you think. But what I'm going to talk about right now is a free classroom activity that you can do with your students. Takes 2 minutes. And it's funny, this is a video I made in 2019. So even before I heard about Alex Hormozi, but then when I was listening to his audiobook, I'm like, whoa, that's exactly what we're talking about, creativity. I'm going to play the video. It's muted. But basically, you show this video in class, and it's this idea about creativity. It's a 30-second challenge, and students are trying to come up with answers. The answer is 12. What's the question, right? And the video will actually have a timer so they can have a piece of paper. And chances are they're going to write down math answers, right? Like 3 times 4 equals 12. Or they might get stuck and they're trying to figure out what the answer is. But then later on, the video will explain about how actually it's hard to be creative when you're under pressure. And it's hard to be creative when you don't know that the sky is the limit. So typically we're thinking in a math mindset. So maybe we're only thinking about math questions. So after this, there are handouts, and the link is in the video description. And I have this resource 12, and it walks students through, okay, well, here's some other possibilities. What else could be the answer, the question to this question, the answer, which is the answer is 12. But the idea here is that creativity is something that we can do today. It's back to school season, so it fits in nicely, thinking about problem solving. We use it all the time, but it's more than just coming up with being a creative answer at school or coming up with a creative topic, because let's be honest, quite frankly, we live in a generation with ChatGPT, machine algorithms, and we can ask it for 25 different ideas and then choose the best one. So this idea about being creative is also harnessing digital media literacy technology, and it's thinking about, well, okay, how can I be creative and come up with solutions that haven't been thought about before? Because creativity is really just about connecting ideas in ways that we haven't thought about, or ways that society hasn't thought about. All right. This is the first episode in a series about looking at the Ontario Language 2023 curriculum, but the ideas apply to classrooms around the world. I am a grade 8 teacher. That's my classroom experience, so that's what I focus on when I create content. But of course, this will apply to teachers in grade 6 to 12. So if you're watching this video, let me know in the comments, what do you teach? What grade students do you work with? Because I'm curious to know what kind of content people would like to see more of. All right, we'll see you in the next one. It's Mike from Edgy Circles. Have a great week. Bye-bye now.